Today we're going to make a picture that's just about lines. I just had you watch a video about lines so you can remember all of the different kinds of lines that there are in the world. Last week you made a picture using different kinds of lines to create something. So you created a portrait, or you created an animal, you created whatever you want, because when we draw lines, we combine them to create something. Today, I'm just asking you to combine lines together to create a picture that's only about lines. So here's sort of one example. The first step is to think about which way you want to draw your lines. So the three different ways that we just watched in the video lines are, you can draw them either horizontally, so that means the lines go across the paper in a horizontal direction. So this is one example of lines going in a horizontal direction across the paper. So across means left to right or right to left. The other directional line was vertical. So a vertical direction would be top to bottom or up and down. The third directional line that they talked about was a diagonal direction. So diagonal lines kind of are a combination of horizontal and vertical, somewhere kind of in the middle. So they go down to up, like a hill, or up to down. Now I just showed you two examples of directional lines in a drawing. So this is the horizontal directional line going across. This is the vertical directional line going up and down. I think it'll be kind of fun to draw in a diagonal kind of direction. So I'm going to draw the different lines kind of stacked downward, but my lines are all going to go that way. So here is sort of a little sticky note example of what it will look like. You can choose which directional way your lines are going to go. I'm going to choose diagonal. So you will need a marker, and we are only going to use 3 different colors. You can choose which 3 colors you want to use. I think you should use crayons because you're going to color kind of a large area on your paper. So think of all the different kinds of lines that we just learned about. I remember some wavy lines. I remember from the video they talked about broken lines, so that's a line that kind of looks like someone went at it with a pair of scissors. So these lines I'm drawing are going from one side of the paper to the top of the paper. They're going in a diagonal direction. I remember some curvy and spirally lines. So you can draw a spiral by making a snail shell, but if you stretched it out, it would kind of look like this. So it kind of looks like if you're trying to draw curly hair, because your hair, it would be a line, right? Wouldn't your hair, a single hair, be a line? I remember some zigzag lines. Some lines you can repeat and you can change them up a little bit. So you could have thin lines and thick lines. I made this this wavy line kind of thick because my marker, if I press a certain way, it creates a thick line. If I put just the skinny tip of the marker on the paper, I can make a thin line. I'm also going to make my wavy line kind of like tall hills. I can make another kind of broken line with just dots, and it doesn't have to be a straight line either. It could be another wavy line. And I've got a little bit more space down here. I can probably fit 1 or 2 more lines. I really kind of enjoyed drawing the curvy line, so I'm going to make another curvy line, but this time I'm going to make it kind of bumpy. I've got space for 1 more down here. I'll just make a regular old thick and straight line. So now I've got my lines filling up my whole paper. I'm going to color them in using a color pattern. And now this is actually the second time I had to make this video because I got distracted and I messed up my pattern. So I'm going to be really clear now about how to create a pattern using 3 different colors. And I'm going to try to focus on what I'm doing so I don't make another mistake. And one thing that I can do to help me not get distracted and not forget is I can mark which space I'm coloring in with what color I'm going to put in there. So the pattern I'm going to make is blue, put blue here. So I'm going to color a little bit here, blue. Next I'll have green in this space, then pink. And I am going to color all this in, but first I want to finish putting little swatches of color. So that's what it's called when you just put a little bit in there. I'm going to put in the swatches of color where they go so that if I zone out while I'm coloring again, I don't make another mistake. So my pattern needs to repeat. I ended the 3 colors and I'm going to restart where I started. So restart with blue in this space. Next comes green here. Next comes pink. Okay, I ended my pattern again. I need to start again with blue in this space. And here, what comes after blue? Green. And then I'm going to end with pink in the little corner here. I just finished coloring and I really love how it looks by only using 3 colors. It helps make the picture a little bit more organized and it's a really neat design. So please finish your picture before our meet on Tuesday, and then we can share our pictures with everyone and just enjoy each other's artwork in a show and tell.